Hello from the Eductor 1 team. Today we will discuss the closing procedure of a session. The first step you have to do, first of all, is close out from any program you are working in. For instance, here I am in the spinal, so you'd want to close out either by pressing here the X on the top right hand corner. Some programs have a close button somewhere you can see. So for our purpose here, close X, and we go to our main matrix panel. From the main matrix panel, we again press the X button here on the right, and we go to our main menu screen. Here you would want to go to your Check Current Rectifications, and you see your blue box here. The blue rectification panel here, which appears, shows you what items are left that haven't been addressed during your session. For example, here we see trauma, deficiency or excess of nutrients, sarcode balance, and constitutional, which has to do with homeopathy. If you have time, you can return to your main matrix screen to address these issues. Otherwise, you can click here on the top, Rectify All below, and this will rectify anything that you haven't addressed during your session. So subtle electrical frequencies address these items, and you see the blue panel is free of any issues. If you wish to deepen this option by offering a super rectification to the client, you may click the bottom left button here, which says Super Biofeedback Electrical Rectification. This is an AFE program. Autofocus. Start rectification. It'll take a few minutes. You'd want to wait till it goes up to 100 here, rectification. This is a good idea to do, especially if you have a small, quick session with your client and you wish to deepen whatever therapy you have done. So we'll wait a minute or two till this rectification goes to 100. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, so you end rectification since we went over 100 and close. So at this point, you can either close the panel from here, or even close the Eductor 1 software. You can close the panel. I'll go through this route. And to close the Eductor 1, you'd say close, and an option comes up once again asking you if you're sure you want to quit. You can press either yes or no. Let me wait a moment and explain. If you press yes and you proceed in closing, the software will close, and then you are able to close your device as well through the power button. Remember never to remove your USB cable while the power is still on. So I'd like you to note that every time you should always close the software program completely between each session and client, in addition to the device. This will reset the software and the device between clients. Sometimes you may need to shut down your computer for 2 minutes, also before starting a client, especially if you have long working hours. So I will not choose yes here, so I can continue to give you some additional hints on how to close a session with your client as well. So I will say no here. So let me go back into testing so I can show you. It's a good idea when you close and finalize your session with your client. Before you shut down the software on your device, you can go into this main panel here and the main matrix, and you can retest. You can do a retest from the drop-down button here, retest, and test VARHOPE improvement. This process takes approximately 1.5 minutes, and basically it recalibrates your client to get a rectification value on your initial VARHOPE numbers. Okay, it shows us how much time we have left. We have approximately 1 minute left. You will notice that as soon as the retesting process is done, a number shall appear here in the middle, showing us the today's improvement percent of the VARHOPE panel. So we're almost done here. 20 seconds left. Great. So in our example here, today's improvement percent was 56%. Means that the client is 56% better than when he or she came at this specific point of retesting. Please remember that the session and therapies are still working on the client for the next 72 hours, meaning that improvement will still continue. From my experience, people usually tend to get low improvement values if the therapy you have done on them was too much, perhaps, and they need more time for their body to adjust, or if they're tired. Rest assured that within the next 72 hours, this value shall improve and they will get the feeling and the results of the therapy. In general, 56% is a good improvement right now, so they're 56% better, and they received 56% of that therapy at this point in time. Another panel that you may enter to finalize your session is the Eductor 1 report. You may find this under the reporting drop-down menu here. You go to the end of the drop-down menu, Eductor 1 report. Click it once. You can click on the third selection here, Make Eductor 1 Medicine Report. Click it. Okay, when you do this, information will load here on the white lines. By doing this process at the end, after testing improvement, as we've done now, it gives you information what is still needed for the client to do. So you can discuss this with your client, what may need to be done in addition also to programming your next visit. You can click here on unconscious selection of the next visit. So it says in 3 weeks. So maximum 3 weeks, you should see your client again. And we should work the next time on hormones, let's say that it says here, bowel improvement, some stress reduction. You can discuss all these things with your client. Possible cause, mental factors, or toxins. Gives you a lot of hints and information. Other statistics on this panel, compared to previous results, let's say, you can press this. This option compares VAR values from your last visit till now, gives you the variance. So from here you can continue to close your program as we mentioned above by closing all the panels. Close, close, and you can go close, and here we can say yes. Thank you.